With continued player uncertainty in Magic the Gathering, with Papa Bezos dumping products, it's your local LGS that is feeling the bite worst of all. Hi everyone and welcome back. MTG Moxman here. Hope you're all having a great day wherever you are in the world of Magic. For all my regular viewers, for all my new viewers who've just subscribed to the channel, all my patrons, and of course my YouTube membership members, welcome back everyone and thank you for that support. We're at 12,200 subs. We're only 800 subscribers away from hitting 13,000. So if you're new to the channel and just finding my content right now, I hope you'll consider hitting that subscribe button and showing your support for my channel. About 9 months ago, I did a video on stores closing, not being able to keep their lights on because of some of the changes Wizards of the Coast had made with the recent price increases. They were already feeling it back then. They knew it was going to get worse. They didn't even wait for the price increases to come in. They just closed up shop. And those stores were great to deal with. I never met the people in person, but they were fantastic. But what a sad day it was for that small community that had the next closest store was 50 miles away. 50 miles. So that play group at that store, they got together, they talked with the store owners before they closed, and they all decided to meet at the local community center, the local library, to continue that interest in Magic. But without the local hub, without that local gaming store, to be able to go and buy Magic and have those discussions about Magic the Gathering, I wonder how long those play groups will be able to go on for. How long will Magic stay alive in that little area without a central location to meet? Now, the LGS does not deserve to live just because it's an LGS. Absolutely not. That's capitalism. The stores have to evolve with the changing times or die. That's what happens. I've seen many an LGS close over the years. We used to call them comic book shops back in the day, and they couldn't hack it, they couldn't make it. They couldn't draw an income from nothing, and they couldn't charge higher prices because nobody would buy anything. It was that fine line you had to walk to keep your store open. And that was in the 1980s, into the 1990s. It still happens to stores now. Now, there are lots of stores out there that are very wealthy. Don't get me wrong. There are stores who have been around for 20, 30 years, built up massive amounts of capital, and they do this kind of like their retirement. They get to hang at a job all day, talk about stuff they like to talk about, but they've made millions on the secondary market with comics and books and Magic cards and other collectibles to build up that net worth. What other stores hope to get to, but some of these stores have done it. So you look and say, well, that store's not closing. No, because they probably don't actually derive income from their sealed products, from their individual comics. That's not really where their money's coming from. It's coming from those specialty collector items that come in that they buy. You know, the ones that come around every couple of years. Somebody sells off like Amazing Spider-Man, you know, or they sell off an old Magic collection. That's where the money is made. But newer LGSs, the small guys, the regular business people, the ones who have evolved up to this point, are going to have to evolve again. The way the prices have continued to increase by Wizards of the Coast and the strain on the player base wallet means that as LGSs are buying products, you got a picture, they have to put an order in saying, I want 6 collector boxes. I want 6 draft, 6 set, and heaven forbid, 6 of that junk jump start product they're putting with everything. They want 6 of each. And they get it in. And there's a couple of pre-orders, which by the way are down huge for Brothers War. Pre-orders are way down. And you go through that, and they go through the pre-orders to kind of get some of the money recouped right away from a few players who are going to buy ahead of time to make sure they get their product. And then other stuff they're hoping to sell at pre-releases the first week or two because they know all those stores are starting to realize that the product is sitting on the shelf longer and longer. And they're stuck with it. And they can't make the same money back because people are already looking at the next product. And the stores are starting to realize this, and they're cutting back their orders. They are sizing things down, knowing that they need less product because they're going to jump to the next product, which really makes me think that Wizards of the Coast is cannibalizing all their own products. If the LGSs are catching on to this, the player base is catching on to it, how long until Wizards catches on to what everyone else is doing? Right now, their sales look great. They look great because the LGS have still been buying the stuff. But they're not buying it and moving it. It's buying and sitting on a store shelf. And not everyone gets to be like Amazon. They don't get to dump boxes for $55 and collector boxes for $85. They don't get to send it back to the distributor at the cost they want to send it back. Oh, well, I paid you guys like $160. I need the $160 back. That's not how it works with the distributors. Once you've got it and you've paid for it, you're stuck with it. Good luck. And the LGS can't mark it down to $85 and lose 50 cents on the dollar. It's just not going to happen. So now the LGSs are in a bit of a bind. Wizards is biting at them from one end. The players are biting about, because the players can't complain directly to Wizards, so they complain to the local store. Tell them how unfair it is that the prices went up by another $5, another $7. The stores will have to evolve. They're going to have to change, or we're going to lose more LGSs. Remember, an LGS does not just deserve to exist. Okay? I'm not there just to give them my money. There are lots of stores I deal with, and I'll continue to deal with them when it's a product I want to buy, but I'm not just going to throw down my money for no reason anymore. I just can't. I can't throw it at nothing. I have to get some return for my dollar, or I'm just going to buy stuff on the secondary market, and that's where the LGSs are still getting my business now. I'm still buying secondary market cards. I'm just not buying things by the case right now. And so are a lot of other players. They're just skipping out, and that is putting more strain on that LGS to find ways to generate revenue, to flip the switch and evolve yet again before more of these stores start to close, before we lose more of those central hubs where we go as players to talk about Magic. I was having a conversation with random people this weekend that I didn't know, but we were all more than happy to dive in to some Magic topics over a coffee and just talk about what's going on, about the strain, the pressures. Now, I admit that I did more listening. I like to listen to people and be an active listener in the conversation to really see how people feel. And since they didn't know who I was, which is awesome, you're just getting honest feedback from these 6 or so people. And that was fantastic. It was a good time. It was a great hour before I had to go off and do chores, right? But that was all at my local LGS. And now what will happen if that store closed or another store closes? Not the big stores, not the face-to-face, not the 401 games, right? Not the big, huge stores or the guys who are independently wealthy who kind of just hang at the stores because they want something to do each day. I'm talking about the small stores who decide to open up an LGS and are trying to make it through. They're going to evolve. Things are going to change. They will have to find ways to generate revenue to get people into the store. I wonder what they'll do. I thought about ways in which they could do it. Like I remember as a kid, the local LGS in my town, the comic book shop, what they had was you had to pay 50 cents a chair. If you want to sit down and play some Magic, kick back with some friends, you got to, this is, 1994. You had to pitch in 50 cents, okay? To help pay for the furniture you're sitting on, for the lights that are over your head, and none of us had a problem doing that back then. And if you left your chair and you left the store, you lost your chair. So if you went out for a smoke, you got to pay 50 cents again. If you went to go get a bite to eat, you got to pay 50 cents again. That's just the way we did it. And we never quibbled about it. So I wonder if stores will start going that route. I know some places like Face-to-Face, here in Toronto anyway, they got like an ice cream shop. They got a little like coffee bar. Those are all ways to generate some revenue, to keep things churning in different ways, to draw in different groups. But I think that evolution will have to go further. They're hosting in-store events. There's got to be ways they can generate revenue to get more people in. Bigger prize pools, get people in. But I mean, I'm not sure how it's going to work out for them. But I know these stores are concerned about it. I've talked to some of the owners myself. A lot of course, emailing to see how they're feeling. And everyone is feeling the strain. Not just the players who have a lot of uncertainty to deal with about which products they're even going to be buying. But the stores saying, I can't afford to buy 6, 6, and 6 anymore because I still got stuff sitting on my shelf. I didn't churn and burn it. It didn't roll over to the next product. Now, singles are surprisingly still doing pretty good in some stores, but only the ones that have high usage rates in Commander. In particular, Commander cards that have a high use. Like if they're used in a lot of decks, those are the cards moving. And not all of those are expensive cards. Okay? Warhammer 40K did totally fine. Did very well. But a lot of stores still have it sitting on the shelf and still have some in the back room. They may not be showing it to you, but they've got it. I think we're going to see more LGSs close, honestly. It's a sad day. It has to happen, though. So the ones that are left are forced to evolve and become something better, something bigger, and something more than what they are currently. More products will probably be offered, more choices made out there. Maybe they'll rent that space out for different events. Kids' birthday parties. Try to get more people in. I don't know. But they will do something to get that going. I mean, they already have the staff on hand. Why not throw a birthday party, right? Go to your local schools and advertise. Who knows? But LGS have made it the last 30 years, and they'll be here 30 years later. Maybe not all of them. Maybe we'll have a lot less by then. But they will evolve into something else. But that doesn't make the strain of the business any less than what it is right now. You've got overhead like rent, utilities to pay, staff to pay for. You got to pay taxes on the sales you've made. You got to pay shipping fees when you're shipping out product. If you're one of those stores that does online sales as well, there's a lot going on with the stores nowadays that didn't happen. 30 years ago, there was one guy behind a counter who ran the whole store. Start of the day till the end. That was the owner. That's the guy who owned it. Nowadays, you have 4, 5, 10, 12 staff. You got to generate stuff all the time. And if they can't generate it, that's when these problems are going to start happening and getting worse. And I do worry about it. But I understand that just because it's an LGS, it doesn't deserve to exist. It has to find a way to exist. We can't save them. They have to save themselves. And I'm not sure what that answer will be. I don't think Wizards is going to cut them a break. I mean, it'd be great if Wizards had offered those $50 boxes to the stores, $85 collector boxes to the stores first in their network. That would have been a really good deal. Could have put some goodwill saying, hey, we're going to give you extra product that you can fire sell out the door. But that's not the way it works, unfortunately. So I'm looking forward to seeing what everyone says in the comment section. How do you feel? Have you looked at your LGS and noticed that there is more product on the shelf than before? How it starts to build up a bit as the products get moved faster and faster and they can't move the older product quick enough? Guys, this is going to be an issue. I want to know what you all think about it. So thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out with me today and paying attention to this issue because it's only going to get worse before it gets better. Okay, guys, thanks a lot. Have a great day today. Let me know what you think's going on out there. Hey guys, a special thank you goes out to all the fantastic patrons on the channel who make videos like this possible with their continued support. Patrons, you're awesome! Well, well, well. You thought we were done. I know! Welcome back, 3%. Thank you for being those special people who make it to the end of the videos. I know this is where I like loosen up and I like chill out. So guess what? You guys are here. I'm going to tell you something. See the patron box? More stuff went in. I'm not going to tell you what it was, but more things have been added to the box that have, they're not the low end reserve list cards. Some higher end stuff's been added in. Higher. Not the highest, but higher. Some of those prices were too good to pass up on, so I've added a good smattering of cards because it was just too good of a deal. But I didn't want to do an opening video and let you guys know what's going in there. I'd like it to be a surprise. All right, so as they come up, we're just kind of like, hey, you get that feel. So if you're one of the patrons on my channel, one of the YouTube membership members, thanks a lot for being those people who stick by me and help me out. I mean, regular viewers, you're awesome. You're always there. It helps the videos. It makes me a few bucks. But this, the patrons want to keep the lights on. Thanks, guys. So I've added some stuff to the box for you. Can't wait. And don't forget December. December's always a good month here on the channel, and we're coming around to it. So I just want to thank everyone, and we'll have a good time in December. So awesome. If you want to be a patron, hopefully you can find a slot to your liking. I know most of them are always sold out, but hopefully you can find a slot and get yourself in there for December. We'll have a good time. So thanks again, everyone. Little thank yous to say thank you because you guys are awesome. All right. Have an awesome day. That's all I got for you today. I got to go make dinner for the family. And yes, I'm making nachos with zesty cheese Doritos. I know. Spoiling my kid. I know. Can't help myself.